Dome with Bamfomania, actually recording the greatest freestyle rap comedy podcast worldwide.
Yeah, there's too many things to enable. Like, I don't understand why I have to record enable four different options in order for us to start potting and for our shit to get recorded.
It is what it is. I feel like in that first run we had some some things that we had to get off our chest, and we did, and they went into the abyss, and now we get to start over. New beginnings.
Yeah, just know that David sucks, and that's the reason why we had to start over.
No, this is a projection, guys.
No. The only thing I'm projecting is a target on David's ass so I can put a boot up of it.
Ooh, boot in the ass.
Yeah. Speaking of boots in the ass, we watched Red Foreman, the child Foreman in Spider-Man 3 last night, which was
yes.
I mean, good lord, the original Spider-Man trilogy
fucking rules.
I can't imagine what it would be like if those films were released today. Would people get it? Would people be so because they weren't really that appreciated at the time they were released.
The first one was.
They made a ton of money. But I don't think people were ready for Sam Raimi's insane film stylings.
Well, what about this? Is it because nowadays it's much easier to have a director create a persona via social media and just like other platforms to where then the creation is related to them more specifically? Whereas before, I feel like movies were just movies and directors were more behind the scenes, literally.
Well, when you think... I think that those three Spider-Man movies are more like Sam Raimi films than they are superhero films.
Yeah,
and it has to, like, he incorporates the horror aspects of it. Like, every one of his villains is always in some sort of internal struggle with like a demon. Like, they always have a scene where it's like he's talking to someone who isn't him, but it's the same guy or whatever. Yeah. And he has Bruce Campbell cameo in all of his films, which, that's the Evil Dead guy. So that alone is like his own little signature. He's got, the obligatory Stan Lee cameo, but then he's like, all right, but just so everyone knows that I'm Sam Raimi and these are my movies, I'm going to get Ash from Evil Dead to also be a weirdo in every one of these.
Yeah, I mean, I was so enthralled by the second one that we decided to watch the third one immediately. Yeah, I'm binging full-length motion pictures. Yeah, Sam Raimi, the lexicon. Yeah, he's a fixture. He's a sick nerd when it comes to the lenses. Yeah, I don't pretend it's sick.
It's a Spider-Man double feature. Yeah, he's fighting creatures. He got the Sandman, he's got the Venom. I meet ya. Yo, Topher Grace, look at his face. He's a disgrace. I wish that he would come and Spider-Man put him in his place.
Yo, my boy Sam Raimi acting crazy. When it comes to cool shots, he ain't acting lazy. Yeah, he's like sporadic addict when it comes to filming bad shit.
Yo, sporadic addict. Yo, I'm glad he never filmed a Batman. Shit, that would be bad, man. Spider-Man was the sickest. I like it. He was the slickest, spinning webs. Yo, Spider-Man, I love that man until he's dead.
Yo, love him.
Yeah, I think that it's hard. I think the third one might be my favorite, but the second one might objectively be the best.
Is it your favorite because of like the goofy Tobey Maguire character shit that goes on?
It's insane that like he's acting like such a loser, and everyone around him is like, you are acting like a fucking moron. But the thing that really turns him around is when he accidentally strikes Mary Jane. That's when he realizes, I need to change something. But before, when he's just being an asshole to everyone, like a dorky asshole. He's doing like shooting guns. Well, no, it's because he thinks that's what cool people do. In his, because like what you were saying, he is Richard. He is our occasional third mic Rich.
It's unbelievable how the whole time I was just completely lost in the character actually being played by Richard. I'm like, oh, that's what Richard would say. Yeah. Is completely Richard.
One of the things that is that we talked about that maybe people don't realize, that first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, 75% of it is origin story.
That's why it's so fucking cool.
It's the last 20 minutes he fights the Green Goblin, basically. It's mostly just him coming to terms with now that he's Spider-Man, and he's got the guy kills his uncle or whatever. So that was it's usually superhero movies don't do that.
And you know how like nowadays obviously the superhero movies are all like Marvel always does that thing where after the credits there's a little hint at what's happening with the next one, but they're not as interrelated as these 3 movies are. Like, you cannot understand the second and third movie completely without seeing the first.
Right.
It's so dependent on one another. They're a legit trilogy, whereas these new ones are all just like, you know how like you can watch any Saw movie and sort of get it. Like, you don't have to necessarily.
I don't know if that's the best example. Not really a superhero.
Well, I guess I didn't mean superhero. I just mean like movies that there's many of.
Arguably, the first like 3 Saws reference the previous ones in various ways.
Okay,
and then
right.
when like the 5th one, they bring back the guy from the first one, and he's like a disciple of the Saw guy.
Okay,
so, I don't know.
Bad example. I'm trying to think of a different movie where there's like many of them where they don't really matter. But
maybe like the Nightmare Before Christmas series. No, I'm sorry. Nightmare on Elm Street. Fucking, it's because it's Christmas time, you guys.
Yeah, and we got Judy dressed up in the hat and everything. She's our female representation. I want to make sure that I bring attention to her so that in the videos it makes sense when I cut to her. Where'd you get this fit?
That Yukon Jack fit. That's like, I guess my mom. It's one of my old mom's. One of my old mom's sweaters. No, one of my mom's old sweaters. And I took it to college with me because it's like a thermal thing that serves no purpose in Hawaii.
The last beat was Spirals by Butowski.
Ooh, Spirals. Speaking of Spirals, Uzumaki, my motherfucking Junji Ito. I don't know. That's for the real anime heads out there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, guys. Should we talk about I'm trying to talk about Victabout, cause they just let him out. Yo, talking about right out my mouth. Yo, free Brittany Griner. Yo, they went over there to find her and they found her in a prison. And yo, they like, we gotta trade some.
Somebody please find something we can trade for Brittany. These chickpeas. Please, somebody get Griner out of the motherfucking Russian spout. Yup, I need her out my mouth.
I'm the merchant of death and you know I'm the best. Yeah, I got the guns and I put on my chest. Yeah, I got the funds, yeah, I fund them all. Yeah, I got the child soldier's bra. Yeah, going over to Civil War states and I'm gonna procreate and get the guns and pass them out. What you know about me, Victabout?
Yeah, I'm in a rush, bruh, to get Brittany out of Russia. Somebody please must do this now.
I think it's actually
I'm a Buddhist how?
Victor Boot.
Okay, so this dude is known as the Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death. The Lord of War. Victor Boot. A lot of people are like, I don't know if this is
worth it?
That fair of a trade.
Oh, no, it's not. That's the point.
But now I've done some research on this Victor fellow.
Got it.
And you know what? He's got some redeeming qualities.
How do I spell his last name?
B-O-U-T. But it is Boot. It's not Bout. I do like pronouncing it Victor Bout, though.
He looks scary.
He looks all right, honestly. He kind of looks like the fucking guy who played the Punisher. What's his name? Thomas Jane. But anyway, Victor Bout, a Ukrainian dude who became a major league arms dealer. He has even worked with America. Like, America at one point hired him to give arms to American soldiers in Iraq because we had no other way to get arms to our soldiers. Okay, so we hired this dude at one point.
So he's not necessarily like a bad person. He's just an arms dealer.
He operated on this philosophy that like these criminals are gonna get guns somehow.
I might as well be the guy.
I might as well be the guy doing it. And he was actually pretty smart. He evaded authorities for a very fucking long time.
Sentenced to a minimum of 25 years imprisonment because the crime was due to the sting operation.
Like 10 years of that.
So that's still.
So one could argue he served 10 years. He really wasn't that like notoriously evil of a person. He definitely was, by the transitive property, responsible for a ton of death. That's why they called him the Merchant of Death.
Right, but somebody else would have facilitated those weapons regardless.
And now all this, I'm just trying to make it cool that he was traded for Brittany. I still think he should be in prison for life, but if we're going to try and justify this weird, people are saying it's a lopsided trade and that, maybe a WNBA player isn't worth the Merchant of Death. But the dude did some time.
Yeah.
He has an interesting mindset about it. He thinks it's a gray area. And maybe you don't think it's a gray area. I kind of think it's bad what he was doing. But at the same time,
it's obviously bad. Yeah.
At the same time, it is just capitalism at its finest. All he was doing was capitalism.
Exactly.
And sometimes, what was he doing that's different than what people do with like medication and whatnot? So, and he served 10 years. So maybe this isn't that bad of a trade. I'm kind of coming to terms with it in a way where, like, you know what? I'm happy about this. So I'm not upset that he's gone. He did his time, and he's not the worst person on earth.
Here's the thing. Griner was also smuggling marijuana.
Yes, granted, no intent to sale. It'd be funny if she was like, because this dude Victor Bout, he owned planes and stuff. He was
wealthy.
He was major league. Yeah. So
and we know Griner. I think we talked about this on an episode a few weeks ago, or whenever we discussed it. Makes about $250 a year. Pretty wealthy still. She lives in what? Oh no, she doesn't live in Houston. She lives in Phoenix. But she's making $250,000 a year playing in the WNBA, well off. And it's just, I feel like it's because it was a female athlete from a sport that wasn't as loved as others, it took this long. Like, they would have traded 3 Russians, and I've said this.
Here's the thing. I've seen some, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I saw some video footage of Victor Bout, and he seems like a totally fun guy. Like, he's like the vodka loving, like, right, like he's kind of he's kind of dumb. Like, he's obviously a very intelligent businessman, but I think he had like kind of a childlike innocence about what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, he really did just see it as, someone's going to sell these guys guns anyway. It might as well be me. He couldn't wrap his head around the fact that he was by like facilitating murder.
I do think that it's odd to say, hey, what he's doing is okay if you compare it to things that are done legally that are still ethically and morally not the best. Like, when you think about Pfizer and fucking other advisors.
Yo, yeah, we're talking about medication. You gotta dig deep into the system. It's a conspiracy. You gotta see. I don't know. I'm under the sea like the crabs be.
Yeah, I hate Bank of America, fucking Wells Fargo and Chase. All they do is make me chase interest every day and my credit, hey.
Yeah, those are the real crooks, am I right, bro? Right. You gotta lock them up, trade them for Griner, yo. I don't know, we got bankers and the people who are in charge of anchors.
Yeah, you're talking about weapons?
Yes.
How about McDonald's is fucking death, friend? Ooh. Every day in your veins. Yeah, this rap is mundane.
Rapping and weaponizing our fat men, and I don't know, I'm crapping in the toilet.
I mean, a lot of times I think about shit that is done legally that fucking is annoying, and then immediately I resolve to understand that I have absolutely no say in it, and I just let it go. I'm like, isn't it fucked up? You know how in college you're appalled by the way the world works because you finally realize, and then literally 5 years later you're like, all right, there's literally nothing I can do about it. I said literally too many times just now.
Nah, it's okay. You're thinking too much. I agree, though. It's like, it's almost a stereotype that when you go to college, you start having these retarded opinions.
Yeah, you're
like you have opinions about stuff that you can't change.
It's
you
like,
know what I mean?
It's like when Meadow Soprano goes to Colombia and she comes back being like, "You're a mafioso, and we should all drive Priuses."
Right. There's like certain you sort of deny reality to try and virtue signal your way into.
Wow,
I don't know.
You're right. I was virtue signaling hard in college. I was mad.
I definitely had some virtue tendencies signaling.
I was mad at the white man, at the Israeli white man.
Oh, like Kanye.
Well, no. Listen to this. Should we? Do you have anything else on Griner and Bout?
Okay, yeah, actually I do. So I watched the movie loosely based on Victor Bout called Lord of War, where they have Nicolas Cage playing the dude Yuri Orlov, and I'm pretty sure for the most part it's like fabricated. Although the movie does focus heavily on him like running guns to African Civil War nations.
Yeah.
They're like arming children and whatnot, which was a real thing. But I don't even know what kind of point I'm trying to make.
Arming children, that's brutal.
It's a good ass movie, and the opening scene is this cool little like the life of a bullet sequence. So whenever they're doing the opening credits, it's literally you see the bullets start from on an assembly line in the factory being built. It's all from the bullet's point of view. It's kind of like that video 100 by Joyner Lucas, from the $100 bill point of view. And yeah, so the bullet's assembled, and then it's like going through a factory, then it's being shipped, and then eventually it ends up in some like rebel soldier's gun, and then in some child's brain, and that's like the opening sequence of the film. And then you see Nicolas Cage being like, 1 in 7 people, there are over blankety blank guns in the world. That's enough to arm 1 in 7 people. Now, the question I'm here to ask is, how are we going to arm the other 6? And I'm like, whoa. And then, fucking some Rolling Stones song starts playing. And you're like, fuck yeah, dude. Let's arm some motherfuckers.
Yo, I love that shit. I love it when a movie takes a bad person or a quote unquote bad person and makes them cool.
Right. And they definitely made this dude cool. Like, you want to be him. And the whole time he's outsmarting people. Like, Ethan Hawke plays the CIA guy who keeps trying to track him, and he's always thwarting his efforts and whatnot, which apparently was a thing that Victor Bout was pretty proficient at. He was very easy at hiding his dealings, which meant, he obviously knew what he was doing was wrong. If he was like, all right, I got to hide all this shit.
Well, no, I feel like a bunch of people know what they're doing is wrong, and they still do it. Like, if you're making money and not paying taxes on it, it's technically wrong. But if you're being, like the fact that if you can get away with it and you think that it just because it's legal or just because it's supposed to be done a certain way, if you don't agree with it and you do it because you can get away with it, it doesn't make it wrong. Like the legality of something doesn't make it wrong. So I feel like if you can explain something to yourself morally and you see that there aren't severe consequences and you can get away with it, like I would take money untaxed as much as possible, because of the fact that I think that the government is scamming us when it comes to how they're using taxes. Like the fact that you can't go to the hospital right now is insane unless you pay a premium on insurance. I should be able to break my leg and go and not worry like I'm in Winnipeg. I'm a socialist. I need holders and shit for my arms and my legs. I need opiates.
Health insurance and dental and eyes. I don't know why they don't have just one for those guys. I think it should all just be one. This is not fun. I don't know why I can't go to the hospital, son.
Yo, I'm at the hospital. Woo. Paying's impossible. Woo. Cause I don't have a job, bro. And I cannot afford to get hurt. Yeah, I gotta go to work, so I can't afford to fucking get hurt.
I got hurt the other day and I just had to pray that it went away. I went home and I just laid in bed and I was like, just ignore the pain, and that's how it is. Yo, it's insane that it's how I live, and I don't want to go and get some big old hospital bill and shit.
Like my job has 2 different taxation things that they do. They tax you on your salary and then they tax you on your commission. The tax on the commission is like 38%, which is almost half. That's absurd. If there was a way of, so a lot of times the taxation is so severe that you could consider getting money off the books way more profitable. Like if you can make $1,500 off the books, it's the same as making like 25 from a job. So it's actually not beneficial to have the job other than for insurance purposes, which is if the fucking government included. I can't fix it. See, I'm like in college again.
Yeah. Although since I have been working for the man for the last year, it'll be nice to get that little tax return. I got a feeling that's going to be pretty nice, pretty hefty. I got a feeling. So? Yeah, I mean, shit. I feel like I'm losing like $250 every week.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes I look at the paychecks and it makes me fucking mad because of how much money just goes away.
Yeah, dude, and it's funny because like we're in a lower tax bracket. There are people, imagine how the millionaires feel like that are being taxed. Like some people get like 60% and shit. Once you're up in like the billions and whatnot.
No, I think it doesn't go over 50 anywhere.
Yeah.
I think 50 is like the max.
You think so?
But even then, if you go to Texas, there's no state income tax. That's why so many wealthy people go to Texas. It's for taxation purposes.
That'd be sick, though.
There's no
Too bad Texas sucks.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely reasons to not go to Texas, and I think primarily it's the people.
Right. And the geography and I get there are some beaches, right, in Texas?
No, but it's not like here. It's totally different. And also you just can't change a place. It doesn't matter how many fucking entertainers go over there and buy property and open, cool, hip venues. It's still Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's fucking... There's been an apartment next to my girlfriend's in Inglewood that's been renting for fucking 3 months and nobody can rent it. It's still Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if they put 6 stadiums there and they open a bunch of fucking cool restaurants. It's still Inglewood.
Right.
And you can't, what's the saying? There's a saying. You can't take the hood out the wood.
You can't take the ingle out the Pringle. You bet you can't eat. Once you pop the top, you can't stop. That's the thing. I thought that after that steam, I would, be detoxed to where maybe my nicotine cravings would have died down. But my God, am I like, ooh.
Well, no, I think there was a moment of pain pre-pod where
fucking hit that.
where you felt triggered and you were like, I need a mechanism.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's funny. It only happens when you're around.
I've had moments where I piss Alex off and then I just hear him take a shot briefly after, and I'm like, I triggered my boy.
Yeah, he doesn't learn from it, but I get it. It's more of a me thing than a him thing.
You know what? I think today it was just, the universe. It wasn't my behavior specifically. It's just what happened,
Right, sure. However you want to, whatever helps you sleep at night,
agree
man.
with me for real, bro. Come on. Are we done with Griner? What do you think?
Yeah, I can't really think of anything about my boy Victor other than, it could be worse. It could be worse.
What's the first? How long was she in prison? I forget.
I think she missed a whole season, so that's kind of a bummer for her.
Bro, what would be the first fucking thing you would do
after getting out of Russian prison?
Come back to the U.S. You're back
going
in
to Disneyland. No,
fuck that.
I would probably do some sort of beach trip, spend a week on a beach resort or something. You would need something like that. Wind down. I'm on a tropical escape because I just escaped from a Russian prison. Hey, and you know me, it was pretty terrible there. They have no basic human rights to spare.
Yo, me and my muchachos on a flight out to Cabo because I'm gonna say no to them Russian fucking egg rolls.
I swear they treated me worse than dirt over there. Yeah, it's me, Brittany Griner. But now I'm home, I'm home, I'm home, I'm home. And I'm going to the beach. Yeah, I'm smoking some cheech. I'm not gonna take that shit overseas. Yeah, I learned my lesson and now I'm over here not stressing. I'm on the beach and it is a blessing. Hey.
Yo, I'm Brittany and I'm back in Scottsdale. Look at me, yeah, my skin is not pale.
No.
And my endurance is not frail. I survived. I'm alive.
God bless Brittany Grine. Yo, I want to hit that line, cause that chick is fine. Brittany Grine.
I'd probably get fast food.
Huh?
I'd probably get fast food.
Oh.
First thing, hit the U.S.
That is...
let's go to the Carl's Jr.
We were on different mindsets there. I was thankful for freedom. You were like, all right, I'm hungry. Let's go.
That says a lot about my life. what I've been going through. Speaking of eating food, there's this Business Insider thing that I found. Read the title.
Fortnite. Oh, parents who say their kids won't eat or shower because they're addicted to Fortnite slam Epic Games with a lawsuit. Interesting. This has happened before.
Listen, if Fortnite made me not eat, my mother would have bought me this and a gaming chair and 3 monitors and fucking made me drop out of school. Apparently, these kids won't shower or eat food because of Fortnite. What do you think?
I got a feeling that this not eating is also a symptom of while they're playing Fortnite, they're probably eating Cheetos or something. And so when it comes time to actually eat, they've been grazing all day playing Fortnite on the cheats, and they're like, yo, I don't need no motherfucking spinach and rice.
What are other things that you could sue that are addictive?
This happened in like the Xbox Live days. Microsoft was sued because of all the like racism they were facilitating on. They weren't facilitating. It was just people were going on Xbox Live and using the N-word and whatnot, and just calling people racial slurs and the F slur and whatnot. And so they got hit with a lawsuit, which there was no like nothing happened of it. Obviously, that's a ridiculous lawsuit. It's like trying to sue the street corner that a fight broke out on. You know, it's like all they had. I think they started banning people if you got reported for using language like that.
This is just bad parenting.
Right, it's all bad parenting. The fact that the lawsuit is the person realizing that they're a bad parent and thinking that they need to they need to justify not being a bad parent. It's not my fault. It's Fortnite's fault. So I'm going to sue Epic. But in reality, it is your fault. Like, what the fuck is going on in this bitch's brain?
There's 3 parents.
It's insane that they think that they don't have the authority to tell their kid to fucking turn the game off. That is pussy ass parenting, and they're fucking assholes for thinking that they could sue this company and get some money for it.
I will say this though, like I've seen a child be lost in a video game, and trying to pull them out of that is very difficult, especially if there's already been like once you've given
tough titties, man.
I agree with you.
It's the parents' fault for allowing it to get that bad in the first place.
The problem is
the lawsuit is insane.
The lawsuit is definitely insane because Epic Games said it in here. It says parents can receive playtime reports that track the amount of time their child plays each week and require parental permission before the purchases are made.
They like made
so,
all of the precautionary efforts so that this doesn't happen.
You can control the usage. I don't know. I think it's like carbs. You know what I'm saying? Once you open the door, it's hard to just eat, a few of them. You want to just keep ingesting. Or it's like, it's hard to gamble moderately. It's hard to you don't just get a nicotine pen.
I don't understand. Like, I regularly, like, growing up, a punishment. Once I was too old to be spanked, the punishment was losing the privilege to do a thing, and that was very effective.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why can't these dumbass parents just be like, oh, you don't get to play this game anymore, and that's that. Boom. Yeah, the kid will fucking hate you for a while. Maybe they'll plot your murder. Maybe they will murder you. At that point, you deserve to die. If you've already fucked up your kids so much, that taking away a video game results in them murdering you, you deserve to be murdered.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that kid is just a psycho, and there's nothing you could have done about it anyways.
I'm sure introducing them to violent video games couldn't help. Not that I'm blaming the games, but this is a whole other thing where were the parents at? My boy Eminem. Let's get real here.
And they blame it on Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I also I just don't want to act like playing the game every day and every night is all right for your mental health. It's unlikely that you will build wealth.
I mean, what's up with these kids these days? Would you not think it was big waste if they were like watching a movie or two every night?
Right.
You're right, yeah, it's the same thing. I wanna do it. Wanna play video games because they got the hand-eye coordination, but it's affecting the kids of the nation.
Yeah, but it's really impressive how easy it is to get obsessed with doing the shit and failing and winning, and the dopamine hits are really prevailing.
Yeah, but the thing is, a game like Fortnite, it doesn't really have those things. It is fun, all right, but I don't know if it has any educational factors. There isn't really a story. All you do is shoot and you score.
I agree with you. I also think that there's an element of the online social aspect of the game that makes it hyper competitive and aggressive. Like, these kids will play with each other.
Oh, the
online,
endorphins are flowing,
and then
it's like taking a cold shower.
We've heard our friends call our other friends absurd names via headsets while playing Xbox, and I think as an adult, you can do that, but also I don't view it as as like a replacement for movies the way that you're saying. Like, I agree with you that there is an.
Well, I was being hyperbolic. It's like the you would be upset if your kid was just wasting his time doing a thing. If you, as long as you perceive that thing as a time waste.
Sure.
Which, if I was just walking in, if my kid was even like 2 hours a day playing like Minecraft or whatever, I'm like, that's fine. That should be the max.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it usually ends up being more like 4 to 6 or something, and that's when it's a problem.
Here's the other issue that I have with the thing that you brought up earlier, which is removing a thing that they like in when they're not behaving. I feel like that in itself is going to create a bad relationship with the items that you're removing, because it's going to create this cycle of like, all right, can't have this, so now you're like being deprived, and then when you're being good, you're gonna then overuse or like abuse the privilege to have the thing. I don't think it actually incentivizes you to behave. I think it just makes you pissed when you don't get the thing, and then when you do get it, you overuse it because now you've finally been given back the privilege.
Right, and that's also kind of a symptom of you've let it get too far at that point. Because if you just from the get-go, like video games they weren't just invented, you know what I mean? They've been an addictive thing since the 80s, and they've been maligned publicly as a time waster since then, since their inception. So it's common knowledge that there should be some sort of caution when you're approaching a child and his relationship with games. So if you're at a point where this kid is playing games for 6 hours a day, you fucked up. You should have never let that get to that point. And now it's like, look, I don't know. Maybe it is bad to just fucking take it away immediately, but something's got to fucking happen.
Something's got to happen. Yeah, you got to like, but I think that it's also difficult in the modern age to say, hey, like you and I, when we're on our phones and our grandma or aunts like, oh, you're just looking at your phone all the time. I was like, well, I'm actually like, I'm using this. This is a tool. It's not always just like, I'm not just playing. I think it's the same thing on like, I don't know, there are certain aspects of video games where you're either using it in a more creative way, or you're playing with it in like a slot machine fashion. I feel like there's those two aspects of playing that aren't the same and that shouldn't be equated. Fuck, I forgot. Oh, I think it's funny when I saw a video of this like esports team winning at 2K, and they're all like fucking amped. They're like, yeah, fuck with us, but they're all like fat and like just fucking look like losers. And I just think that the concept of esports being like a competitive skill that you've developed and you're cool because of it is so dumb. I'm like, you're not actually dunking. You're controlling a man who is dunking, and you winning at this esports thing is cool because you're getting paid. But other than that, I don't think it's cool. It's not impressive. Like, you being skilled at playing this game doesn't make you not a loser in my eyes. Maybe I'm just a douche, but that's how it feels.
Well, once you get into the competitive arena, I almost feel like it's more justifiable to spend hours and hours playing it. Like,
and I think that's an excuse a lot of people use. They're like, well, look at these other dudes. I could be making thousands and buying food for my family by just getting views.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. A child's brain is developing. Once you're an adult, you can do that shit, and it is not your fault if you are stupid.
But it's like the same with playing sports or skating. You'd spend days debating on whether or not it's a good or lame thing, but it takes practice and years of learning.
Yes, practice makes perfect, sort of. There isn't that much risk in the sport of playing motherfucking games in your room because you're not gonna sprain your ankle soon.
I ain't sprain my ankle unless I fucking speak and take an angle that is real unique. I need to fucking sit and reach.
I need to sit and reach for the video games. I'm playing Halo Reach. That's a game. It's real. I didn't make that up. Feel.
Yeah, I mean, like, what about the pandemic? Remember when we had to resort to video games?
That was a good-ass time.
I feel like kids now, at this point, a lot of them were pushed into virtual entertainment more. and like if you got forced into playing video games because you had no other choice during the pandemic, how do you now say, hey, now we need to cool it with the video games, you can go outside again? It's difficult to wean them off once they've been given that access point.
It's so those parents who are suing Epic Games should be fucking embarrassed. They should be embarrassed.
They're probably embarrassed because they're probably just trying to get paid. I don't think they necessarily believe that Epic Games is responsible. Like the effort of going through a lawsuit is so massive that it most of the time isn't conviction. It's simply like the perception that you might financially win, and that in itself, like Epic Games could probably
there is still something about that where like the initial like doing something embarrassing to get a bunch of money is so that it almost makes it worse to where like you have zero shame. Like there's something about that I just rubs me the wrong way.
What about people doing things that are embarrassing for no money, bro?
Like what we're doing? Like this shit right now?
Bro, that's too real, man. We're getting the Patreon going soon, guys. So this is no longer embarrassing.
Nah, dude.
This is an investment.
Let's hope our families never listen to it.
Well, no, they would have to endure like so much content to find the parts where we don't want them to listen. And we've talked about this before. My mother couldn't get through 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, it's. I just noticed that the humor is like almost generational. It's like technology. Unless you make an effort to learn new tech, it's gonna pass you by, and you're gonna be technologically illiterate. And I think that humor is the same way. People like I try and make some jokes to my uncle whenever I'm down at his place, and it is like just crickets, but I know that they're funny. I know that if I made the same jokes in a group of younger dudes, that would fucking kill.
Yeah.
But it's just so absurd. Like there's a level of absurdism that I guess isn't appreciated as much. Almost like when like maybe an autistic person hears a joke, they don't really get it because they want to view everything super literally. It's this spectrum of getting jokes that generationally older folks.
You're saying boomers are autistic.
Yeah, there's like an autism when it comes to joke getting in boomers.
I simply have gotten to a point where I realize that other people's brains are not going there. Like people are restricting their brains from going there in certain things, especially like when it comes to what's funny. They're just like not thinking about that shit because they've decided that this is where kind of the barrier is. And so there are certain people that just don't allow. Like there's young people who can't like when you say something crazy to somebody who's around your age and they're like, man, you wild or some shit like that. I'm like, oh, this person obviously doesn't push the envelope when it comes to saying wild shit on a regular basis.
Yeah, it is. And it's a good way to like show your ass too.
Yeah.
When someone says that to me, he's like, man, you just said some crazy ass shit. And it's something I just say in passing. I'll be like, oh, this guy's an NPC.
Yeah. Bro, man, I hate those.
That was some douchey shit I just pulled.
That's all right.
NPCs are people too.
No, I thought that
take a look at your life, folks.
I thought they're machines.
Take a look at your life and wonder.
Look at your life.
Look at your life through heaven's eyes, and really make some judgment calls. Are you an NPC?
Well, what are the symptoms?
Your music taste heavily relies on what is played on the radio.
You just say sentences that you heard other people say.
A lot of your opinions are parroted, and maybe you have like a sense of humor, but it's usually piggybacking off of like a joke you heard on Facebook that was stolen from Twitter.
Yeah, you hear you laugh when others laugh.
Generally basic taste, basicness. This is some wicked shit that I'm dropping on y'all. I don't know if you're an NPC or you ball. Are you the main character in the story of your life, or are you just running around like some guy who with no intense motivations? You're just doing your thing and getting some bread, man.
My old boss was the NPC. I hate it whenever she would speak to me because I couldn't believe every word that she would speak was something someone else had previously said.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out on the boat this weekend, go fishing. That's pretty dope. I'm gonna get some blue beers and I'm gonna drink them over here, and then I'm gonna go to church, and then I'm gonna pray for I don't know. It's a douchey thing to talk about because it implies that I'm some, like, yeah, no, but I am someone else's NPC for sure. I get that. I understand that.
It's like people who use the term normie.
No, I'm using NPC as a substitute for normie because normie is so cringe, but NPC is going to be cringe very soon.
I think, yeah.
And we were just talking about video games, so I might as well keep with that theme, you know.
Keep with the like digital abbreviations.
Well, that's what the NPC it's a non-playable character.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. I knew it was like an AI bot thing in my head. I have a different topic. Do you want to transition?
Fucking fine, man.
Okay,
just do it.
That's not a great.
Go.
I shouldn't have stuttered.
Fucking do it. You just.
Listen.
What is it?
Listen.
What is it?
Listen. I know you don't give a shit about soccer, but unfortunately, the World Cup is occurring.
About soccer.
And Morocco beat Spain and Portugal, which are both of the neighboring countries above them. And also the fact that Morocco is winning a World Cup in an Arab country is hilarious.
So they've won already, or
they haven't won. They've beat two big teams. Like Cristiano Ronaldo's in Portugal. Like that's like the biggest fucking player, and they're in Qatar. So all of the Qatarians are like, "Oh my god, these dudes who look like us are winning!" And it's probably because they're acclimated to the weather of the desert. But aside from that, they raised the Palestinian flag at the end of their game, and I found this German company or some, like, I don't know, but here's the translation. You just have to like World Cup outsiders, Morocco, don't you? Adding an anti-Semitic touch to the joy makes things difficult.
So being pro-Palestine is anti-Semitic. That's interesting.
Well, no. And here's the thing. It makes sense that a German newspaper, or I don't know what this is, like maybe an online.
My guy, please check that hidden reply.
Oh, this is just a screenshot. This is a screenshot.
The hidden reply. Go down. Oh, never mind. I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, this is a screenshot from Twitter.
Shit, never mind. Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It makes sense that a German newspaper would overcorrect in their support for an Israeli country, like a Jewish country. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like trying to overcompensate for their association with the Holocaust.
That is what they're doing.
Palestine is bad.
We're definitely not anti-Semitic. We're extra anti. That we'll be anti-Palestinian to prove how much we love the Jews. What was the name of that newspaper?
Let me pull it up again. It's
I want to find that hidden. I love looking at hidden replies.
Tazgez Witzscher.
Tazgez.
It's up here. Just look up here. Yep.
Tazgez.
Well, and it also goes to show that the virtue signaling that occurs on the internet in the U.S. has fucking infiltrated other Western countries. Like there are plenty of people virtue signaling in England, Germany, Finland. Like the whole like woke narrative is not only occurring in the U.S. Like these other Western countries are learning how to like be annoying douchebags on the internet and act like they're better than you via Twitter.
It makes me think that they're trying to. I think that other countries know how pussified America is in this regard. That everyone is just being like everyone wants to pretend like they are like the can do no wrong type.
Yeah,
and so they like I could see this newspaper trying to appeal to that in order to do some numbers like overseas and like not just specifically this newspaper. I see other countries
fake virtue signaling
to latch on to the like the woke types.
Whoa, dude, that's insane.
I mean, where's the lie? Could you see that being real?
I'm saying it's insane that makes sense. Like I feel like people make YouTube content based on.
Here it is. Sorry,
I just fucking vomited in my mouth, so it's all good.
Okay, the hidden reply is After killing 6 million Jews in World War II, nowadays Germans define anti-Semitism as being pro-Palestine. Literally what we just talked about is in the hidden replies of this. What else we got? You fucking losers. No one cares what you think. You fucking Germans, get lost. That's hilarious. Fuck you, Nazi Deutschland. Yo. I love the hidden replies. It's the greatest thing about Twitter. You guys, you gotta get on Twitter and check the hidden stuff. That's just how it is, yo. I can't get enough. Whoa.
Das ist ein hidden replies on Twitter.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm a motherfucking spitter. Yeah, and I'm anti-Semitic when it comes to Guten Tag. Yeah.
Oh, I wish that Hitler had a Twitter. It would be lit, bruh. I would just follow him every day and I'd see what he said. Yeah, I wanna know what Hitler's got to say, bruh.
Bomberclad from Frankfurt to Afghanistan. Yeah, I'm a Palestinian man. And I love schnitzel and pilsner. Yeah, you know me, I'm the illest, bruh.
Bumberclot on the German tip. Yeah, you know me, I got a Jamaican German bitch. Yeah, half and half on this. I'ma laugh and get some jerk chick on the kebab.
The kebab.
Former Nazis accuse Palestine supporters of anti-Semitism. That's rich. We got fuck off, a lot of fucks offs. Grandkids of the Nazis must shut the fuck up. Free Palestine, bitch. How you fucking soggy ass chicken McNuggets? I don't get that one.
I think that's a reference to schnitzel. Maybe, I don't know.
You're German. Please shut the fuck up about anti-Semitism for the next 3,000 years. Since when is my flag a threat? This account is anti-Arab, anti-Islam, and anti-Palestinian.
All right, there we go. That's a
you
woke
approve of the killing of Palestinian kids and demolishing their houses. You're racist. The true Semitic in Israel are pretending to celebrate Morocco win, attributing it to the Abraham Accord. Well, this one's getting conspiracy stuff. Let's start over. Here we go. The true Semitic in Israel are pretending to celebrate Morocco win, attributing it to the Abraham record. Oh. Because one of Abraham's sons must have
Ishmael.
It was the Moroccan dude. So which one is it? If raising the Palestinian flag makes us anti-Semitic, then we are proudly anti-Semitic. Go fuck yourself now. Whoa, that one's big. Nazi scum. Your grandparents did the genocide of 6 million Jews and 6 million others. Now you evil scumbags want to kill Arabs because of fake guilt. Jesus, man, they're going in.
I think
there's a lot of hidden replies.
I think that there is no way in which you can use the term anti-Semitic correctly. Like anybody who says the term anti-Semitic is then like creating a controversial take. No matter what. Like no matter what you say, it's going to be like if I said Hitler was anti-Semitic, everybody would be like, yeah, but also Hitler also hated blacks and homosexuals, right. So he's not just anti-Semitic.
And gypsies.
Exactly. So like, there's no instance in which you will say someone is anti-Semitic or something is anti-Semitic without getting pushback. Like that term can never be used and not get pushback. So this newspaper should have realized that they couldn't say that in their Twitter and not get massive pushback. But maybe they did this on purpose.
What's funny is that they're actively moderating it still. Like there's hidden replies from 27 minutes ago, and this post is from a day ago.
So they're just hiding everything.
Yeah, they're just like, and I had to scroll. Like there's more hidden replies than there are actual replies.
So are the
I swear to God,
are the replies that they allowed a bunch of people being like, yeah, fuck Palestine?
Ask a German social democrat about their opinions on anti-Semitism, and the same way I'd ask a toddler about their thoughts on turning off Paw Patrol and going for a bath. Wow, that's relevant. That's pretty relevant, folks.
My girlfriend wishes she could take a bath, but there's no hot water at the apartment right now.
That is too bad.
Fucking High Point Real Estate, get your shit together.
Oh man, we're shouting them out.
They're never gonna hear this.
No, dude. Maybe they'll sponsor the pod.
That'd be sick.
We become shills for landlords.
I'd become a shill for literally anything.
I will sell weapons to child soldiers. I swear to God.
Gladly, dude. I wish it's coming, dude.
Oh, bad. There's a great scene in Lord of War. Yuri Orlov. He's in I think it's like the Sudan, one of those African Civil War places, and he's super nervous about getting AIDS. That's like a plot point in the film where he's like, as long as I'm not getting any AIDS or whatever. And there's a point where he sleeps with a whore and in a cocaine stupor, and he's like, wait, do you have AIDS? He's like scared about maybe he got AIDS. And then he does more cocaine and plays like soccer with a bunch of little kids, and it's pretty funny. He has a whole there's a whole drug bender sequence where he's nervous about AIDS. He plays soccer with a bunch of kids in Africa, and then he fucks some lady, and then after he fucks her, he's like, wait, do you have AIDS?
I feel like there is no way of I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh man. That's too bad. I bet it was going to be something offensive, and you quote unquote forgot what you were going to say.
No, it wasn't. It definitely was offensive, but I don't. It had to do with doing cocaine and playing soccer with kids.
Oh, that's an interesting caveat. Is it about the World Cup somehow? The Colombian team in the World Cup?
Oh, no, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say there is no way of being involved in arms dealing and not also getting involved in cocaine.
That was kind of the thing. There is a scene where Jared Leto's character, who plays his brother, they be doing lines, sir. He does a whole line in the shape of Ukraine. In the shape of Ukraine, he puts that shit straight in his brain.
There is no way that you are trafficking AKs and not a couple kilos of cocaine, because they go hand in hand. They're very valuable in this land and also Afghanistan. Yeah, I'm trafficking kilos. Yo, I'm trafficking the fucking kilos every day from here doing El Camino.
El Camino, what you know about it? I've been on it, yeah, you know I gotta flown it. Get them guns and get them on it, yeah. Oh, got the kilos, yeah, I'm out in this Martino, yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sorry.
That was totally radical. No, I watched another documentary on HBO about a dude in the U.S. trafficking pounds of cocaine and also weapons, and it was one of those situations where the people who are successfully trafficking anything across borders are inevitably at some point going to traffic cocaine. So if they start with weapons, they're going to then traffic cocaine. If they traffic cocaine, they're going to then traffic weapons.
According to the movie, it was kind of the reverse for this guy. He only did cocaine once. Then he was like, I got to do weapons.
Oh, so he was like, cocaine's too dangerous.
That was according to the movie. I could be totally off base. I know they took some creative liberties. I mean, they changed his name, so that alone implies that they were really. I don't even know if he had a brother that worked with him in real life. Jared Leto kind of killed it as his brother in the movie.
It'd be funny if at the beginning of movies that are like that, they said extremely loosely based on a true story.
They didn't even. I don't even remember them putting up a thing.
That's how you know they fucked it up so much.
I'm pretty sure that they didn't claim it was a true story at all.
It's just funny because as a kid, I always thought, oh, if this is based on a true story, word for word, this happened.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a few mini documentaries about Victor Boot before doing the pod, and it seems like you could just watch that movie and just assume that shit was going on, because it is. Other than. Like, there are some things in the movie, like in the movie he marries a supermodel / actress that is like also. I tried to look up that's a totally fabricated thing. The fact that he was working with his brother, I'm pretty sure wasn't a big deal in the actual Victor Bout's life. So there were these interesting creative choices that they probably could have just left out and it would have been fine. But it must have just been, Hollywood stuff. You got to have the annoying bitch wife in these Hollywood productions. That's like a thing. They do the like female character kind of dirty by like, she exists to remind him of his humanity by nagging him and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like Jordan Belfort's wife in The Wolf of Wall Street. She's like this crazy like drama element to the whole thing. Yeah, I think that's actually...
Or any movie that's about a cop, the wife is always like, it's too dangerous. Yeah, it's like, dude, this is unrealistic.
What about the wife in Breaking Bad, bro? That fucking...
Yeah, that's a rough one. Although, like, I don't know.
After a second
viewing, you're like, man, I don't know. I kind of sympathize. But, it is still annoying.
What about this? Look at this. Robert Hardister. Do you know who this is?
No.
Where's the? Hang on, I fucking closed the tab. Oh,
Rob Hardister.
hardest,
Oh,
sir.
and he's got some face tattoos.
Look at this face transformation. Basically, this dude was arrested like 9 times between 2009 and 2017. If you guys just look up Robert Hardister's face transformation, you could see him from 2009 to 2017, 9 mugshots, and each one his face is like slightly different. Definitely the last 4 are just like insane.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of there's this movie called like Ink or Inked, or I think it's called Inked. I don't know. That might just be the show. There's a show called Inked.
There's a show called Inked, yeah.
I might be totally off base on what the movie's called, but it's about a neo-Nazi who's like covered in just like face tattoos, head to toe with Nazi tattoos, and he eventually starts working with the government, if I believe, and he decides to get all of his tattoos removed. And it's historically it's like the most tattoos ever removed on a human body.
Whoa.
Was this guy, and he had to do full body surgery to get all of his Nazi tattoos removed. It's pretty interesting. They might have some before or afters of that guy if I could figure out his fucking name.
If I was him, I would just like, I'd rather get cover-ups than removal, don't you think?
I don't know. Can you? How easy is it to cover up a Nazi tattoo?
They just there's a lot of like blackouts that people do, like blackout tattoos. You know what I'm saying?
I just looked up Nazi tattoo removal guy. I don't think that's it.
Yeah, like look, like this guy, like this is all blacked out, or like yeah, look at this arm. This arm's just. I mean, you guys listening, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like people who just have black sleeves. Yo, I had a bunch of ink and it was offensive, I think, to a couple peeps that I used to know. So I had to go into the studio and be like, black out my arm, bro.
Yo, his name was Brian Widner.
Okay.
Yeah, he liked his skin white like winter, except for when he put the ink on it. He was involved in the skinhead movement.
Brian Winder, in the winter, I hope that I don't ever get a splinter. Yeah, I'm a thin nerd when I'm talking and getting tattoos with chalks and.
Yo, his efforts to rejoin wider society were significantly hampered by his tats, you see? So he had to get them removed expeditiously. That's just what I mean.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find Brian. I might have spelt it wrong. Yeah, I love this song. It's not this guy, because this guy's deceased.
That is a cop.
R.I.P. Brian G.
Okay, his wife feared that Widner would take drastic action to remove the tattoos, such as immersing his face in acid. She eventually contacted anti-racist activist Daryl Lamont Jenkins of One People's Project, who put him in contact with the Southern Poverty Law Center. After several weeks of conversation, the SPLC representatives agreed to help Widner in his quest to remove his facial tattoos. They found a plastic surgeon willing to perform the procedure, and an anonymous donor provided $35,000 for it. So yeah,
that's crazy.
It was a major procedure to remove a bunch of Nazi tattoos.
Hey,
you know, if you're going to remove your tattoos, good thing that they're anti-Semitic.
Right. I feel like who the fuck has $35,000 to be like, let's just help this
I guess
guy.
I'm racist. I don't have $35,000. I'm just gonna.
Well, it's funny to me that some anonymous donor was like, I'm willing to invest $35,000 to get this dude to not like. Does Brian not know who donated, or does just the public not know who donated?
I don't know. That is kind of strange that, like, that someone would really care that much.
Right, it must
be an anonymous donor. 35.
Well, it must be somebody so wealthy that 35 doesn't mean anything to them. They're like,
right, yeah.
Let's help this ex-Nazi get his life together. What if he goes back to being a Nazi and then gets all the tattoos again?
That would be wild.
If he relapses back to fascism.
Now that would require some pretty. That would be like me becoming a Christian again. You know, there would have to be some kind of insane thing.
I
that
got it right
happens
now.
in
I
your
got it
life.
right now. Here's what would happen. Right?
Prison.
No,
but that is the answer. Prison is the answer.
Prison is one of the answers. You impregnate a Christian woman that you used to know.
You think that would make no? I would double down on it to to get her to leave me. That way, I
don't know, bro. If you impregnate a Christian woman, and she's like, "No, we're keeping this baby," and then all of a sudden you were like, "I'm gonna be a father," and then you were just like, "All right, fuck it. I'm better off just believing this Christian stuff."
But there wouldn't be any belief. I might go to church, but it would just be like to support my wife.
Right, but what is belief really, other than going through the motions until all of a sudden you believe it again?
I don't know. Some people really believe that shit.
Some people have been indoctrinated to believe that shit. Other people...
I definitely really believed it when I believed it.
I feel like I really believed small aspects. Like, I really believed I was going to go to heaven because I had said, all right, Jesus is real. But a lot of the other shit, since a young age, I was like, I don't think God gives a shit if I'm jerking off or smoking or drinking. Like, I never felt guilt about my behavior.
That's because you were a bad Christian.
I was. I also, unfortunately, saw behind the scenes too much. Like, I would see my parents
fucking
speak. Yeah, that was traumatizing. I would see my parents speak at the same sermon like 4 times, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is scripted." Or I would go to like 4 Sunday schools back to back because my parents had to do the service thing, and then I'd be like, "Oh, this bitch doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. She's just repeating the same thing to the 4 classes. I could run the class." And seeing the whole like behind the scenes destroyed the illusion for me at a young age. So then I realized, oh, this is all just like a show, and we're all just trying to get paid and look good and feel good. And
yeah, what's crazy is you stuck around with it for so much longer.
Right, but like, how did I really stick around? I was not like
you had an out, and you were like, nah, I'm a chill in the Christian.
There was
section.
I had no real out until mid post college, because I had to go to boarding school, and I know it's cool to go to school where your parents don't live. Yeah, but it's horseshit. I had a good time. It was fine, but the thing is,
I'm just recalling an event specifically where I approached you and I was like, I don't have faith, see? And you were like, well, I'ma stick around with my faith because if I did leave it, that would be a disgrace.
Yep. And I agree. There was a paradigm shifting that hadn't occurred because I was afraid of the word. That I would go to hell, that they would cast a spell.
No.
And that would propel me to a life of sin.
Yo, but it was cool, right? You know, I'm over there like bearing my soul. And he was like, yo, man, I don't know, I'ma stay in control. Yeah, it wasn't the most encouraging thing, but I knew it. And plus, I already had someone who was legit, not a Christian.
Who had already been like, yo, this is bullshit?
This is bullshit. Because it was weird because I kind of assumed that they weren't, but they also went to Cornerstone. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to talk to this guy.
Closeted atheist.
About like my doubts. And I opened up to him about my doubts, and he's like, yeah, I actually don't believe in any of it. I'm pretty sure it's all fake. And I'm like, holy shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
That was what I needed to hear.
Well, I just remember thinking that most of it was horseshit. I remember like when I was 13, 14, 15 being like,
bullshit.
No, listen to me. I remember thinking a bunch of this is horseshit, but the core stuff about being a sinner and like having to select Christ to go to heaven, I remember that's the important thing. That's what I believe. But then I remember all the other stuff of like, you know, drinking or smoking or like cursing or like watching porn, like all of that stuff. I was like, this is all whatever. I never felt guilty about that stuff. But when it came to like, oh, I can't deny God because I need to go to heaven. But like, it was such a hypocritical like paradigm I had built in my head where I was like, all right, all of this is fine. I just have to fall back on like the whole, like, I said yes, therefore I'm saved, and that's it. But it was all bullshit. And I feel like when you approached me and were like, oh, I don't think I believe in this, I was like, yeah, I'm going to stay over here. But at the end of the day, we were living the same, you know, like our lifestyle, like my behavior was always the same. I just don't understand how in my head I thought I was good. That's so fucking stupid that I thought I was in the clear because I just had this small aspect of my mind that was like, oh, this is what I think.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get this deep into it.
Sorry, I fucked. Yeah. How about this? Oh, you know what? I'm out of topics. What about our boy? Or
oh yeah, R. Kelly, our boy R. Kelly.
I didn't mean our boy. I meant our boy.
The R boy. Yeah, I got you. The Robert boy. Yeah, no, he dropped an album behind bars. But I listened to it. I'm pretty sure all those songs were recorded pre-conviction.
Oh, so they're not like.
Well, this is what. Okay, so a third of the songs were like about meeting a girl in the club. And then another third were just like, what's wrong with the world today? What's wrong with the world today?
Yeah.
Na 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 na. And then the last third was just one song because it's 19 minutes long, and it's that I Admit It one that he released like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So there wasn't. I think the whole thing was just a compilation of stuff he had recorded in the last 10 years that he decided to drop. So it is kind of weird.
Spotify was like, nah.
Yeah, they took it up. I mean, all of his music is off. It's not just that.
It's not true. I literally listen to Ignition weekly.
What?
Like, there's a bunch of R. Kelly music currently on Spotify.
That's insane. I thought they had taken it all off.
Well, no, I think they're just like not allowing him to add new music. But like,
so okay, so he can't add new music, but his old music is still available.
They can't take "I Believe I Can Fly" off, dude. That shit is insane, dude.
Well, they used to. There was a period of time where Spotify was removing sex offenders shit off of their platform, but I guess they have reneged on that. Yeah, no, they're all on here. You were right. He has 12 Nights of Christmas from 2016 on here. He's got a fucking recent Christmas album.
I literally listened to Marching Band by R. Kelly featuring Juicy J.
It's a good one.
Last week. That shit bangs, dude.
Yeah, I mean it's an incredible it's an incredible fucking discography here. I'm looking at him. Oh man, why did he have to be a horrible monster at the end of the day? Yo, R. Kelly, yo, that shit wasn't great, bro. You gotta fucking piss on her face, yo. I can't believe we knew that, and he still was making music. He fucking had more releases. We just let that shit go on. It's insane, man.
What leaves me speechless about the releases is the things he speaks of, where he's like, yo, talking about the shit that then he's going to prison for the shit. Literally, he's like describing specifics. And yeah, it doesn't impede his...
age is just a number. Yeah, that's how it is. I wonder how after that fucking Dave Chappelle bit, this dude went on to release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 albums. That's insane.
Yo, it's insane how great they are, but not him. The R. Kelly sins.
Drip, 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 pee on you, I piss on you. That was so big in my high school, the Chappelle R. Kelly parody. And that was just, we were just laughing at it. Pedophilia.
Oh, yeah. And
I guess that's a hebephilia.
Well, and the specifying makes you sound like a pedophile. The specifics of like what he had done made the trauma, the specifics being blown up in the media made the trauma for that girl so much worse. Like, getting peed on by an adult is definitely traumatizing. Having the world see the video of you getting peed on by an adult is a million times worse. And I feel so bad for that girl specifically because, you know, like escalating the trauma to being like on a global scale makes it so you have to grow the fuck up really quick. I mean, getting pissed on makes you grow the fuck up, but at the end of the day, just having it be something that's in the media, that's being mocked by, how are people just like joking about it on late night?
That's true. That was in that R. Kelly documentary, they were framing that Dave Chappelle bit as insensitive and cruel, which I guess technically it is. You got to have some thick skin to have your sexual assault be brought up for humor's sake like that.
Yeah, dude.
What am I hearing?
Something's playing in the background. Oh my God! Sorry.
What was that?
I was watching Bruce Lee or the.
You're watching the piss tape.
That'd be crazy that you could just find that on YouTube.
No, I'm pretty sure
they have monetization on.
Nah, it's funny that at the time, yes, it was going all over the place, and people weren't realizing that it was child pornography.
Bro,
it is illegal to watch the R. Kelly piss tape. You could go to prison.
That is so brutal. I can't believe. I mean, it's also the internet wasn't being monitored and like censored as closely as
I
it is
didn't
now.
even know what child porn was until I was 14. Someone told me about sex trafficking and whatnot. I was like, oh Jesus, that sounds pretty bad.
I don't remember when I started to perceive what that was specifically.
Well, yeah, I'd never even heard the phrase before.
Child porn.
Yeah, and then I didn't even know what pedophilia was until the Chris Hansen show, the Dateline To Catch a Predator. I didn't realize that was a thing. And a lot of people were like that too. They didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a sign that you had a good childhood for the most part.
I can pinpoint some interesting interactions though. I remember
where you thought you might have.
I think there was one time I was preyed on, but I never actually got touched. There was a guy who claimed to know my dad or whatever that would approach me at the hot ponds and be like, "Hey, I knew your dad. If you ever need anything," and I'm alone, and when he would be, I'd be in the water or whatever, swimming around.
Put his hand on your
he
thigh.
would come up to me and talk to me. There was never any physical contact, but
maybe he did know your dad.
It would be weird. Say I just wouldn't try and connect with some guy's kid who I'd never met the kid. All of a sudden, I feel like, oh, maybe he was trying to get in with my mom.
Right,
maybe he wanted to meet my mom.
What about this? What if it was my kid, and I've moved on, and you see my kid, and you're like, yeah, I knew your dad. We had a podcast.
I feel like that would be a lot different. I got a feeling if you had a kid, I'd be in his life in one way or another. We would meet once or twice at least. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be some weird thing about me coming up to him.
Yeah, but if you met him when he was 5, and then all of a sudden I wasn't alive, next time that you see him, that kid's 10, and he's there having to pretend that he knows you.
Yeah, I might just let him alone. I might be like, yo, bro, you look like your dad. We used to host Dome, but now we don't. Yeah, but you're hosting a podcast of your own.
You'd go up to him and be like, what's up, friend? Yeah, your dad was also a fat piece of shit.
And then I'd tear his pants down and start sucking his dick. And that's just how it is.
All right, dude. I guess we're not clipping that one.
No.
Let me we're gonna clip it for the Patreon. Let me read you the last, I don't know, it's been forever. Vapor by BBT Man, Jitters by Lethal Needle, Hypnotized by Cornell, Burn After Rolling by Lex Factor, Mystery by Just Dan, Beats, Slam by Edba, Comfort by Piper Beats, Wax by Harold Beats, Left Alone by Ty Beats, Rain 2 by Reese Beats, Amen by Louie, En La Sangre by Xavier X Beats.
Reese Beats.
What do we have? How many we have left?
We got 2 left.
Okay, and Arizona by 18.
Oh, snap. 18. Back with the tracks.
I thought it was funny.
Fix your name, you dumb bitch.
I thought it was funny when R. Kelly was like, what about the planet?
Yeah,
what about the planet?
He had that one. He had a couple more. He was like, where's the love in the world? Where's the love in? He had another one that was like that.
I hate realizing that it's just like a collection of songs that he had in the fucking burner, and not that he had like a musical renaissance in prison. I was hoping it would be like new music. Discovering that it's not new music is sort of demoralizing. And I thought,
right. No, I was the same way because I was like, well, I kind of was suspicious while listening to it. I was like, this is way too happy. There's no way he's writing this music now. that mindset of being in prison for what he fucking did.
Yeah.
There's no way you can surpass that to write these songs with this energy. So I immediately was like, there's got to be something going on. I started Googling some of the lyrics, and yeah, like a lot of them were released as singles as early as like 2010. Some of these songs came out. So there were some. It was like a compilation.
You think he's just trying to get money?
I don't know if he can get money. Maybe he can. Maybe that was what it is. Maybe that's why Spotify took him off.
Because they don't want him to monetize.
They don't want that sort of streaming revenue in there, which I could see that being a thing.
And it's not on any other platform. Like, it's not on Amazon Music or...
No, they took it off of all of them. Like, oh, you know what's funny is Boozy Badass was like... He was he was listening to it on Spotify, and then he liked it so much, but he was just pissed that they took it off of Spotify. And the way he talked about it, he was like, the man's can't drop an album just because of his troubles. Although he's just describing like having a pedophilic sex cult as troubles.
Yeah,
is very funny to me.
Man, I just remember watching. Was it Wendy Williams? The Wendy Williams interview. Or is some other lady interviewing
Wendy Williams, I think, is the crazy one.
Who interviewed R. Kelly? There was that. Hang on, let me pull it up.
Gail.
It wasn't Wendy. No, you're right. I'm fucking stupid.
Gail something. I thought. I can't remember.
Gail King.
Gail King. Yeah.
Fuck it, dude. Let's watch this for a second.
Yeah, why not? There's the part where she stands up. Can we skip ahead to the?
Is it this one?
I think it's the "I'm fighting for my fucking life" part. Go back.
This one?
Yes.
So this one's 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, let's skip ahead a little bit.
Sources tell us.
Oh, jeez.
I have a harem. What you call it?
A harem? What you call it?
I have.
Everybody said something bad about me.
Yo, fuck you, R. Kelly. You're getting what you deserve in the penitentiary. Yo, 35 years, that's not long enough. Yeah, I wish that you should go get your butt fucked.
Yo, my boy Robert, yeah, he's a fucking robber of the innocence. Yeah, he's not the best when it comes to being a nice friend to the women in his life. Yeah, he's not nice. Fucking R. Kelly, yeah, he's got a bad vice of taking advantage of less fortunate women in his life. Yeah, he fucking loves the kids.
R. Kelly's ex-wife spills all. Yo, that would really suck, man. Don't you call. Don't call me up unless you're telling me nice stuff.
Hey,
I don't wanna know. I'm fighting for my fucking life, bruh.
I don't wanna know. Please don't tell me, bro, of the shit that dude Roberto did back in 2004. I don't wanna know. CBS Morning, bro. Okay, here we go.
They was describing Lucifer. Not Lucifer.
Yeah, it's weird that he can just say this.
No,
knowing that what he did, he's lying. You know what I mean? Like, but he's like. To come off, it's like a tactic that liars use.
Yeah, and narcissists.
To be like, it would be crazy that you would believe that.
Yeah.
It's like gaslighting.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a man. I make mistakes, but I'm not a devil, and by no means am I a monster.
Skip ahead a little more.
He's gonna break. He's gonna break.
In that documentary about that you tell about you.
You can start a rumor. R. Kelly relationship in the social media.
I feel like you be using the bottom bar.
People have maligned your character.
I have been assassinated.
Oh, is this the?
Yeah, because that'll show you when. There we go. There we go.
Down the street from their uncle. Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
The blackness is coming out.
This stuff. This is not me. Y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. Woo! I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
He's up.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music.
Points at the camera.
I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
He knows what he's doing right now too. He's standing up to like to make it seem like he has convictions.
Yeah,
like he's doing it because he's like, I'm convicted right now because I'm being maligned. I have to stand up to make sure that they know. They're gonna use the wide shot. We're gonna see the cameras in here and the lighting and whatnot because that's how real this moment is.
Gayle King is looking at his manager, being like, "Don't do nothing. Let him keep going."
Gayle King is yeah. You're right. No, she's loving it.
She's like, "Keep it going."
This is a career making interview for her.
Did we see the most of it?
His publicist helped calm him down.
Some lady's fucking talking.
Man, his publicist is a badass. Look at his publicist.
Keep going.
His publicist looks like
Doesn't even make sense.
Doesn't even
Why would
make
I
sense.
hold all these women.
he's saying this while
Their
getting
mothers and
getting
fathers
powdered
told
while getting his face
Yeah,
powdered.
makeup is trying to fix him up.
Kelly's emotions remain.
It's just funny. Like, one of the arguments that he uses, and he's had other terrible interviews. You know, like, this isn't his.
His publicist kind of looked like one of the.
This is his publicist.
Oh
right
yeah,
here.
he looks like one of the guys that Jussie Smollett hired to hate crime him.
It says on here, R. Kelly's publicist, the Gayle King interview helped.
Well, I mean,
How?
in theory, if you were riding with R. Kelly
And you saw that
and
interview?
you saw that interview, you'd probably be like, yeah, it makes sense. He's
But you
so
were already
emotional.
riding with him.
Yeah, if you're riding with R. Kelly,
it was
you're
it was
riding
good
with
for
R. Kelly.
retention. He kept some people on
Because
the
like
side.
it's the same way if there's still people riding with Kanye, you know what I mean? He's already done the worst thing that he could possibly do,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is say that he likes Hitler and that not 6 million people died in the Holocaust. So it's like if you're still riding with Kanye after that, he can do anything, and you're gonna be riding with him. I'm riding with him. I'm dying with him. I love Kanye. I'm out fish frying with him. I'm a gay fish, and I'm Kanye West, and that's it. Yo, shout out South Park. That bit is still relevant all these years. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, that album Graduation, that was a sensation for me when I was on a young kick. Yup, that shit was so sick. And I love it when he was like, I'ma touch the sky, I'ma touch the sky.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe that shit was in Space Jam. Oh my goddamn. That's just how it is, man. The motherfucking R. Kelly, yo, I bet that piss was smelly, bro. He probably was dehydrated when he did that. Yeah, he raped it.
Yo, I bet that piss fucking smelled, cause for lunch he had asparagus. Yeah, my boy Robert, yeah, yo, he never missed when he tried to piss on the youngest kids. Ooh.
Well, it would be funny if in prison he's like getting pissed on all the time as just like a joke.
Yeah,
like,
what now, motherfucker?
What now, Mr. Robert Kelly? I believe I can piss in your eye, bitch.
The last two beats were Rebel by Chisholm, and that was Glitter by Kyoto.
Maybe we shouldn't find prison rape funny. But when it's being done to some guy who's like a monster, you know, maybe that's okay to laugh at.
No, I remember I had a friend who...
Am I too concerned?
I had a friend who was terribly afraid that he would, like, fall through the judicial system and accidentally, like, you know, end up in prison and have to, like, you know, overcome being just abused.
Is your friend the neighbor from Boondocks?
No, is that an issue in Boondocks?
No, there's a character in Boondocks who's deathly afraid of going to prison and being raped. He's like supposed to be like the Uncle Tom archetype that they have. He's like no, I'm sorry, scratch that. There was a literal Uncle Ruckus character, but there was like a more wealthy, light-skinned character that was also kind of you know, he married a white woman, and that was like the character he played, but he was deathly afraid of being raped in prison. Ironically, his wife goes on a date with R. Kelly at one point or something. There's an episode where R. Kelly is on Boondocks, and the guy's wife, or the daughter, like gets a chance to meet R. Kelly or something, and the wife is like he's over there like, fuck, R. Kelly's gonna fuck my wife. And he ends up getting his ass kicked by R. Kelly's entourage.
Okay. If I was...
And they sing Let It Burn.
Have you seen... There's that... I think this movie that we saw together about it's like a lawyer. He's out to dinner with his like wife and then another couple. They have a couple, you know, glasses of wine, and then they crash on the way home, and the person in the other car dies. So this guy ends up going to prison for manslaughter because he was slightly over the limit. It's one of those situations where you're like, oh, this successful...
I'm trying to remember what movie that is. That the one Shot Caller where the guy becomes like the head of the yeah, that's
okay,
a good
yeah,
one.
that's the
that's
one.
badass.
Well, so I remember that being one of the things that I like retained and thought, oh, the system is in place in a way that like a small accident that a normal civilian goes through can lead to like a very long-term prison sentence that then turns you into a convict basically and makes you just like behave in the way that a felon behaves to survive in the system.
Yes, I'm sure that happens. I don't think that it's necessarily a trope, but I don't think it's common enough to be a trope where like people who come into prison all like no matter what they're gonna become a gang member and blah blah blah. But I do think that what's funny about that movie. I say you know what's funny about that a lot. I just realized that's like kind of my literally.
It's all right.
That movie Shot Caller is written and directed. I can't remember the guy's name, but he has another film. His first feature-length film that he wrote and directed was about the exact same thing that Shot Caller is. Shot Caller was basically an opportunity for him to remake his first flagship movie.
But it wasn't as big as Shot Caller?
Both movies they have their own thing, going for them, but both movies follow the premise of guy gets arrested and sent to prison for something that shouldn't have been that big of a deal. Like in the first movie he made, the guy shot a thief that was breaking into his house.
Oh.
And he goes to prison for that because I guess the thief was running away and he shot him in the back. There was some kind of thing like that. And he was outside, like he was running away in the lawn.
Should have just let him go.
Yeah, something like that. And he shot him. And so he goes to prison for that. And Val Kilmer's like a high-ranking Nazi dude. It had like production value and shit. Like he could have just left it at that movie. But then he was like, all right, I'm going to make that movie again. But it's going to be even more badass, and it's going to be Shot Caller.
So Shot Caller's better.
They're both pretty good, honestly.
What's the first one?
Felon. It's called Felon with Steven Dorff and Val Kilmer.
I want to rewatch Shot Caller so bad that I would be willing to watch Felon just to like not rewatch Shot Caller.
Okay, well, I'd be down to watch Felon
just because I'm like, for me personally, coming into prison immediately, I would try to I would shave my head immediately, start never shaving the beard, or like keep it at a significant length, and then I would put on another fucking 20 pounds.
I know we hate on Spike Lee, but he did direct that movie 25th Hour. That's about Ed Norton. He's going to go to prison in the next day, and so it's just about his last day before going to prison, and he gets one of his best friends to like fuck his shit up, like beat the fuck out of his face and whatnot, so that when he goes into prison he's an undesirable asset. So like no one's gonna try and rape him or anything. He gets completely just the shit kicked out of him or whatever. It's kind of describing what you're saying, but you wouldn't want someone to actually harm you. You would just do it you would just make yourself look ugly using what you have already going.
Yeah, I would make myself maybe less appealing, or like try to look as intimidating as possible, and then I would also try to become.
You don't want to do the intimidating. You want to go with
like non approachable.
Yeah, you want to look like, because intimidating triggers some. There's some dudes that like they see an intimidating guy and they're like, I now have to prove that I'm the alpha male in this scenario.
You would want okay. So I would just have a normal haircut, normal beard, and then as soon as I get in there, I join the Muslims.
Probably got to join the Muslim Brotherhood, which I feel like the Arab Muslims in prison are that's where you want to be.
Yeah,
that's probably the best quote unquote gang that you would be in. I'm pretty sure even the religious groups in prisons are gangs.
No, and then I would just be like, I would be in the library all the time. It'd be like, oh no, we're not gonna bother him. He's one of these good, educational rehabilitated types.
Yes, that would be. This goes back to the conversation we were having about what would make you religious, and you just solved it yourself.
Yeah,
I said prison, and that's exactly what it would be. That or a gang.
It would survival.
It's hilarious that there aren't any white gangs that aren't racist. Why isn't there like a white gang that is like cool, like that?
That's inclusive.
Yeah. I guess that just by the definition, I guess. Okay, in prison though, could you be a white guy and be like rolling with the Crips or the Bloods? Because I've heard of white Crips and white Bloods. They exist. There's some famous ones, but like
they have to do some crazy shit.
but there's no white gangs
that aren't like hate
right.
focused.
Or I guess I should say predominantly white.
Well, no, I think it's because the other gangs that we think of, like Bloods, Crips, Mara Salvatrucha, or like the other Latin ones, those are all like as a symptom of poverty, and they like build their own infrastructure to like defend the hood type shit.
There's a good amount of like cops who are minorities too, and I would classify them as a gang. No, I'm not even trying to be edgy, like, whoa, the cops are a gang.
No,
like,
but what I'm saying,
literally, that's what it is.
What I'm saying
is
the
definition.
What I'm saying is the white gangs are not coming from a place of like defending the neighborhood that is impoverished. It's like hateful. Like the Ku Klux Klan and shit like that. That is literally like.
Well, they think they're defending the nation from minorities and Irish people and Jews.
It's just so funny that like the gangs of minorities are a defense mechanism, whereas the gangs of whites are like an offensive method. Like it's on the attack. It's not to defend themselves. It's to like.
Right.
Go after others.
I imagine that there are some like militias that are predominantly white that don't prescribe to any racial discrimination, but I assume most of them do. Like the idea of a militia, to me, I just think, oh, there's probably a bunch of racists.
Well, anything that is segregated is inevitably going to like result in some type of like racial bias. Like in the same way, like Bloods and Crips or whatever are going to be. Or like the Nation of Islam at one point was very like the white man is putting us down. The white man, it's all like there wasn't white people in the Nation of Islam. That was like intrinsically racial. Whereas I just don't feel like there are gangs where they're diverse. Like the open-mindedness to have diversity in your gang makes it to where you might not have a gang.
What is the most diverse gang? Like, that's an interesting thing to think. It's probably the police. You can have women in that gang.
Right, but that's government funded. I feel like the only reason you can't call the police
the
a
Juggalos gang, are technically classified as a gang.
Are they?
They are very diverse.
They're misclassified.
Yeah, I would say yes.
They're not like an organized crime.
No, you're right. Which is weird. But technically, they're a gang. So let's just say the Juggalos. If you're a Juggalo, you win.
All right. Well, join the Dome Gang by sharing, and that's not a good name for our subgroup.
No, we already came. You had one last week that was pretty good.
I had Domo Sapiens.
Yeah, Domosexuals. That's pretty good. Obviously better than Domo Sapiens.
Domo Sapiens I like because it doesn't sound like we're ostracizing the gays.
Well, you think calling our family members domosexuals has anything to do with being gay or ostracizing gay?
It sounds like homosexual, so it seems to imply like, I'm cool with it. It's funny.
I think that you're projecting right now.
I'm not projecting.
I think you're projecting.
For marketing purposes, I feel like domosexuals is less good for branding.
Well, how about this? You call them Domo Sapiens, I'll call them Domosexuals, and then you have that little virtuous buffer between the two of us.
Become a citizen of the Dominican Republic by liking and subscribing. The Patreon will happen soon as I can get some ducks in a row. By ducks, I mean content or videos or something. But in itself, right now, just like and subscribe, leave a comment. I'm pretty sure you could review this podcast on whatever you're listening to it on, and communicate with us on Instagram or on TikTok at bamfomania. You can follow me at Salt and Satire, or follow the man
Bubba Y, 3 B's and 2 Y's, and hit me up for the music videos. The schedule for 2023 is filling up fast, folks. So you're gonna want to get your name in there.
Price is going up.
Yeah,
price is going up.
Is that a R. Kelly song?
No, that's from Price is going up. Price is going up. Price is going up. Man, what is that from?
Yeah, there's one of his new songs on the album. He's just like, he says, I got it a lot. He's like, I got it. I got it. I got it. And I was like, that is a slapper, all right.
Yeah, none of these. It's not Mayday. Fuck that.
Oh, dude. Mayday. Strange music. Strange. Well, whatever. Let's just end this podcast.
Okay, fucking end it. I hope it's not these guys.
Fucking.
Is it Migos?
This got me thinking of. This got me thinking of one of the greatest hip hop verses of 2021. How does it start? How does The Rock's verse start?
Oh, it's about pride.
It's about power. We devour. Put in the work. Put in the hours. And take what's ours.
It's by Key. Price is Going Up is by Key.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
it's the song.
Fat
isn't
Man
called,
Key.
It's not. The song isn't called Price is Going Up, but it's on one of the last 2 albums.
Put in the work. Put in the hours. And take what's ours.
Man, what a fucking
what a line.
Verse.
What a line.
All right, we'll leave you with that.
Black and Simone in my veins. My culture banging was strange. I did the work. Now what's my motherfucking name?